Hey guys! So I've been seeing people vlog from their car and somehow it attracts views. And it's cool because like good lighting, good sound stage, and this is a good way for me to differentiate my first channel from this channel. So welcome to Inner Child Glow Up. And I took notes and I'm trying to do these off the cuff, off my notes without editing so I can post it. Otherwise, editing is a way of procrastination for me. So today I want to talk about conflict. And if you're here and you're ready to glow up and you're looking for, or you already have that spark, but you're looking for a community to grow with, it's really important when we're going through growth, a spiritual awakening, that we have people around us, surrounding us, uplifting us, and not holding our ankles and dragging us down. Let me know if you have experienced that or if you resonate with that. So today's video is about conflict, what to do when you feel conflicted. And we all feel conflicted in different situations in our life, and it could be something as so simple as my environment is dragging me down. Now, when you experience conflict, congratulations, because it's a sign of growth. It's a sign of mental growth, and that you are questioning your current environment, your situation, your current thought process, your current relationship, or whatever it is. And it's okay to question things. In fact, you should. So if you've been doing the work, you might feel conflicted because you no longer want to follow social norms, societal constraints. You might feel different from your peers, and it's a good thing. Maybe your friends don't understand what the heck you're talking about or can't resonate with you. You're experiencing personal growth, and hopefully our friends grow with us. We all want that. So I'll just talk a little bit about like my experience, because I built this channel to help you learn from my growth and my mistakes. Like, for example, if my friends aren't going with me, I used to try to like just beat them over the head with my new ideas, and they weren't ready for it. You don't need to do that. But let's just like keep it simple. When your friends don't resonate with you anymore, it doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that they're in a different growth state in their life. And it's time for you to up level, and maybe they will join you or not. Like I said, it doesn't mean they're bad, or maybe they even like grew ahead of you and left you behind. So it's up to you to decide if you need to stay in that situation. It's just like the bucket full of crabs. When one crab tries to escape and another one reaches up his pinchers and grabs his foot and pulls him back in. We want to avoid those types of situations, and sometimes we impose that on ourselves, and I'll give you some examples. So some places where you might feel conflicted is work, school, with your parents, with your peers, with your friends, and even in church. And you might be getting messages, just even simple messages or feelings in your body that maybe I don't belong here. And that's okay. Doesn't mean you have to like get up and leave. It does not mean you do a 180 and get rid of everyone, but notice these changes with yourself and why they're happening. And is it time for you? Is it time for you to leave that job? Is it time for you to just even change your perception? Just the way you think, the weight that you might put on people, the weight you put on people's opinions of you. So I'll just give you an example. Like, as a recovering people pleaser, that's me. Now, we're kind of taught this from school, from when we're little, to go along with the group as to not cause conflict. And there are situations like where that's easy to do. It's called groupthink. And trust me, even now there's situations where it's like, it's not even worth fighting for. Let me just walk away. But we're pretty much taught from elementary to go along with the crowd And I understand it's for good reason. When we're a kid, we do need to learn structure and discipline. And I believe even as adults, we need to learn and impose for ourselves certain structures and disciplines so that we can fulfill our goals, but also be good humans to society. Because we all know there are humans who are not good for society. Anyways, that's a different Oprah. Anyways, but these rules and discipline, they're put in place for a reason. And like I said, conflict doesn't have to be full blown out event. You don't have to storm out of the room and like say, hey, I am out of here. But it could be as simple as saying to your friends, hey, observing your friends eat very poorly and it's affecting you, it's affecting your body and your mood because you've decided that you want to go on a health journey for yourself. So you want to participate in going to In-N-Out for lunch. And here's the thing, they might try to say, oh, it's just one meal, it's okay, it's not gonna harm you. But it does. And it's also not your job to change them and say, oh my gosh, you're gonna kill yourself by eating that. There are decisions you can make, and this is an example of a very small conflict. Well, I want to hang out with them at lunch because I don't want to feel left out of the coworker group, but they're just not eating what I want to eat. So you have to decide. You just don't go, hey, I'll go another time. You bring your own lunch, you eat something else. So these are things that will start to arise like when you start to make changes for yourself. And like I said, it is not up to you to try to change them. It's only up to you to try to change yourself and make that wise decision for yourself. Yes, it might alienate you from the group. How important is that to you? Do you want to be accepted, or do you want to create change for yourself? Now, more often than not, when you create that change for yourself, it doesn't mean you're not going to be accepted by your old group. Not at all. In fact, it might mean that, hey, they might want to make the changes you made too. Or if anything, you attract people who want to make changes for themselves for different reasons. It is not the end of the world. So yeah, coming from a former people pleaser, that I used to feel like it was so hard to say no because someone was going to be mad or upset. And even that feeling for myself is a toxic trait of not honoring myself, not honoring my body, not honoring where I wanted to go and what was good for me. So this, it's really about honoring what that voice in your head is telling you. And when you start to cut away the noise, you'll find that voice in your head. I know it took me a long time to just even find it or to trust it. Am I making the right decision for me? So when you start to do healthier things, honor yourself, honor your body, your mind, your soul, your spirit. The old habits, and sometimes people are connected to those bad habits, they will shed out of your life. And it's okay. It's okay if you're not hanging out with the same people. It's actually making room for where you need to go. It's just like, think about driving, and you're driving down a road and there's cows in the road, but they don't need to be there. Eventually they'll move out of the way. Or you'll sit there, or you go with them, I don't know, but something's going to happen. So when this conflict arises, it often happens in your body. Like, you'll feel it. Like, I don't really want to say yes. And maybe your body hasn't been trained to say no if you're a people pleaser. You'll feel the resistance. And an unawakened person might actually freak out. They might blame someone else. They might feel really insecure and say, it's your fault. It's your fault I did this. Or they might explode and say, it's your fault I exploded, and create some kind of resistance and backlash. Or just go with the crowd because it's what feels comfortable. This is what happens when you're unawakened, and I've been there, I've done that, I know. And I'm hoping you're here because you're starting to wake up from this and realize that I don't have to lash out when I feel conflict. I have to be present in my body and feel and talk to myself and journal and think, what is going on that is making me feel like I want to do something different from the norm or what I'm used to, from my norm or someone else's norm. And it's okay. It's totally okay. Challenge yourself when you feel that resistance. Sit with yourself, even if you just sit in your car by yourself. People underestimate quiet time and alone time without the radio, just sitting with your thoughts. Okay, now I'm seeing why people do this in the car, because a lot of my thoughts come through very clearly when I'm in here. But challenge yourself. Why do you feel conflicted? Why do you feel triggered? And no, some people don't even know what triggered means. It means like a unreasonable response to something very little. But more often than not, it's okay to feel resistance, and it's actually your signal to, like, let's think, what are we doing here? Is this wrong or right? And it could take some practice. It will take some practice. And it's your body's signal to align yourself with your higher power, with your inner being, with what God wants for you. God is always leading you in the right direction and wanting what is best for you. Now, I grew up so scared of what people will think, how people will judge me, what will people think or say or do if I do something against the norm. I was so scared of this, especially I was raised scared of my mom. I was always in judgment and fear of judgment of what she would think. And, I'm now just realizing as an adult, like, she was never happy with me. Maybe she was, but she never expressed it. That there was always disdain. And I hear this is the Filipino way because they want you to do better. And even if you have an A+, it should be an A++. So there was no satisfying my mom. And I became a hyper-aware adult in a very toxic way, that I abandoned my own feelings in effort to appease everybody around me. So I will dive more into that later about mom wounds that led me to do a lot of self-sabotaging things. So I'm going to continue with the topic here. I won't get out of line with the conflict, but it was when I got away from her that I, looking back on it, I just transferred that energy to other people, to relationships, and I attracted and stayed with people who were extremely judgmental of me. Friends, boyfriends, like both. Had bad girlfriends, had bad boyfriends. I had bad people around me. I had friends who put me down relentlessly. These are toxic people, and they look for people like me, who was a people pleaser. And I tell you guys this now to develop that self-worth, that little voice that's telling you conflict is okay. It's okay to stand up and say no, so you don't go through what I did. So even when I started to wake up, speak up, things that people say and do to me are not right. I even had friends and family try to convince me that my mom's toxic ways were normal. This is the Filipino way. I had people try to convince me that my now ex-husband's behaviors were normal. Like, it's not toxic, it's you. Like, no, it was not okay. It was not okay the way anybody was treating me at that point in my life. It had been going on for years, and I'd finally had enough. And I finally had to learn. Again, that's why I'm here. So I don't want people to experience the pain that I did. But pain is growth. Everyone goes through it. Don't be scared of it. We have to embrace it, but realize, like, why. And I spent a lot of time sweeping it under the rug because I accepted the toxicity. And that's why I'm here to teach you. So I'm here to tell you, like, it's okay. Because people were telling me it's okay what they did to you, I suppressed my own feelings. I swept it under the rug, which prevented me from growing. Trust me. Like, oh, I became very toxic myself. And it just took me that much longer to break from it and start to heal those wounds. Because when you have those wounds, you don't realize like how your toxic ways are projecting onto other people around you too. It was like accepted as a cultural thing. So now, like, I try to teach my daughter as much as I can. And I'm really proud of myself for where I've come. I've taught her that, you know, she's 13. It's a very impressionable age, that I understand you want to fit in, but if one person is controlling the room, controlling the group, and not letting you speak or not letting you do what you want, like, everyone has to play by her rules or eat where she wants to, like, you know, it's okay to speak up. It's okay to not go. It's okay to say what you want. Like, and it's okay to take turns is what they should do at that age. And it's okay to have different feelings and not to worry what people will think, because you can always call mommy. Mommy will always give you what they want, give you what she wants, you know. And if you don't want to be friends anymore, if your friends are mistreating you, it's okay. You'll find new ones. I know it's easier said than done, because even as adults, that's really hard to do. It's really hard. For me, it was really hard to say no for a while, until it got easy, until it's like a muscle you have to practice, that I have to honor myself. My daughter watched me people please for a good part of her life, and I'm course correcting. I'm course correcting for me and for her, so that she doesn't tolerate people who abuse her, basically. You know, it hasn't happened, thank God, but she was watching me tolerate people who abused me. And I'm just so thankful that I'm out of that place in my life. Because inherently I'm a very good person. And watch my last video about how even being too nice was toxic to me, to myself. I wasn't honoring myself. Another example I can give you is that recently I was in church, and I love going to church. I was raised in church, and I had come to my own realization. I come into this early on in my life, in my adult life, that religion is man-made, and religion is rules that are man-made. It has nothing to do with your individual responsibility for your own connection with God, with the Holy Spirit, with the universe, your higher power, whatever you want to call it. My belief is God is a man and the universe is a woman, and you need that yin and yang. But there is a higher power, and that all starts with your relationship with yourself. Now, I was listening to the sermon, and this priest was talking about unconditional love, and it clicked for me of like, I have been learning this wrong. I've been learning this wrong. Unconditional love does not mean love people when they're abusing you or mistreating you. And that's what I was doing my whole life. Because, you know, and it stemmed from my childhood. It stemmed from my mom. I was so confused. Like, how could this person love me but talk so poorly at me? So I related that with these bad friends and boyfriends that I just told you about, who would think it was okay to abuse me. Because I would find love in different ways. I was very confused. Anyways, I will get into that later. I realized that I had been learning that wrong. You don't have to love people unconditionally if they do not love you. If they do not love you, get up and walk away. Get up and walk away, and it's okay. Like, it's okay. There are billions of people in the world. You don't have to make anyone like you. And as I see it, if they don't like me, it's really their loss, really. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I just realized that's not what it meant. Unconditional love, friends, family, and relationship, you know, it's okay to check them. It is okay to say, you know what, I think what you said to me is disrespectful, and I'm not going to apologize for your disrespect. Okay, I think I've gotten off topic here, but if this resonates with you, you might be a people pleaser. If you have like trouble with conflict, if you just want to run away from conflict, you might be a people pleaser. Not all conflict is bad. It means that you're growing. It means that there's something in you that you have to recognize. Is this the right situation? Am I in the right environment? Sorry, I don't mean to talk with my hand so much, talking with my left hand. It could just mean that God is course correcting you, steering you in the right place. Some people are so fixated, like, over here. My roadmap is over here. I have to finish college in 4 years, and then work for 2 years, then do grad school, and then get married and have 2 kids. When at each point, they might feel conflict and fight against it. And that's just God saying, hey, look over here. Look at the opportunities I have for you over here. When you start to learn this, that you do not write your life, when you actually think you're writing your life, you're getting in your own way. And this is societal programming, and this is what I'm here to help you realize, that you can start to unravel this. You can start to unravel from this roadmap that's not yours, and just listen to your body, listen to that inner voice in your head, and listen to the cues. There are so many signs every single day. I promise you, when you start to wake up and look for those signs instead of looking for that roadmap that's not meant for you, everything just starts to fall into place. So conflict is not necessarily bad. I'm telling you to listen to yourself. And even we can't all figure out things on our own. This is where you can seek professional help or mentorship, a therapist, even with a friend who has been through it before. We have all been through situations. Nobody here is unique. We're all unique, but we all go through the same situations. And this is how we grow, and this is how we learn. So I hope that something in this has resonated with you. I feel like I kind of went all over the place, but in just sharing some of myself and how I've come to learn about myself and grow for myself. Because the worst thing to be is to be stuck and to be stagnant and think that you know everything, and then we don't grow, or scared to learn more, scared to even challenge the belief that you had since your childhood, or to challenge societal beliefs. Yes, it is scary, but it is okay. Not is it not only just okay, but it's really good for you. As long as you're not hurting people, okay? It's okay to challenge your beliefs, because it leads to growth. I'm so happy you guys showed up here for me, but you showed up for yourself. And if this resonates with you, leave a note in the comments, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.